Going on, Jerome. It's a beautiful Wednesday. Happy hump day out there to those who celebrate. It's time for another Vikings news dump. So the Rooster moves yesterday afternoon. Some surprising, I guess some not so surprising, but Vikings announced that they waived linebacker Brian Asamoah II. They waived injured Zeke Corral and placed wide receiver Rondale Moore on IR. So one at a time. Asamoah, just didn't work out, right? And I know everyone and their mom just likes the cream in their jeans about the 2022 draft class. Bleh. It's kind of weird, man. Like the obsession with the 2022 draft class, the obsession with Kyle Hamilton, where, I don't know, like, what do people expect? Also, what do you want the Vikings to do, right? It's clear that Scene and Booth, Ed Ingram couldn't do it. Do you want the team just to hang on to high draft picks just because they're high draft picks? Or do you want them to move on when it's clear that the player does not help the squadron? Or better players rise on up. Theo Jackson over Lewis Scene. A bunch of other cornerbacks over Andrew Booth Jr. Ed Ingram being traded, essentially getting Jordan Mason. Would you rather Kwesi hold on to players too long just because he drafted them high? Nah. Now, obviously, like to raise the batting average a little bit, you have to give Kwesi some credit for the last couple of draft class, as well as free agent classes too. But 2022, maybe not so much. Although I don't know, like it's kind of weird. Like we never talked about Spielman's 2016 class like this, but it's all right. And Asamoah, starting fights in camp probably doesn't help. He actually did that 2 years in a row. Yeah, but also this could be a spot where it's clear that he wasn't part of the Vikings' future plans in the final year of his rookie deal, and maybe they did him a solid to try and hook up with another team, get some good tape out there in practice and in preseason games, and maybe try to latch on to a 53-hour practice squad. So, don't know. Rondale, yeah, this sucks, man. Gessling Strib. Test confirmed Rondale Moore suffered a season-ending knee injury in the Vikings preseason opener on Sunday. The team will make a roster move shortly. Move has not happened as of right now, but the Vikings, could they potentially add a wide receiver? Sure, but I feel like people are freaking out about the wide receiver depth. Because Addison has that suspension. Jefferson coming off the mild hamstring strain, but it'll be fine. It's like, the Vikings are first couple weeks probably won't run a ton of 11 personnel, which was their base offense about half the time last season. A lot more 2 running backs, a lot more 2 tight end sets. It'll be fine. It's not like they're running 5 wide out there. So, come on. So, Rondale stinks, man. Like, Rondale, 5 years in the NFL. His final 2 years in college were shortened by injuries. 3 of his 5 years in the NFL have been shortened by injuries. 2 years in a row just started off before the season even started. He's only 25, but it might be it. Yeah. And Corral, so he was waived with the injury designation, so he won't be claimed, but he reversed the season-ending IR for the Vikings. And Corral, had some good snaps in the preseason game. Also was looking good in the last couple of practices and training camp, and he was doing some good work, right? So I think that practice squad was in line, and the pride of Notre Dame / NC State. So he's the perfect amalgamation of John Sullivan as well as Garrett Bradbury. Hey. Coral tweeted this up. Sometimes things happen that I don't understand. 1 minute, I'm living out my dream in an NFL stadium. The next, I'm having season-ending surgery. I'll be back stronger than ever. God's plan is greater. So, love that attitude. Rooting for him in the future as well. Also rooting for Purple FTW store, purpleftw.net. Link is down below. 15% off everything using promo code preseason25. Good until 8/25/25. So, get the hats. Get the fanny pats, get everything. It's going to be good. Also, the opposite of good. So we're sort of over like the whole Rossini and Cowherd thing because at a certain point, it's just being stubborn to be stubborn. It's ceasing to be sports reporting, which I understand. Cowherd is not a sports reporter. He's just more provocateur. But Rossini is supposed to be the national reporter for The Athletic. And I feel like it's a tenuous hold on the situation when you dig into narratives and you double down when you're obviously proven wrong, right? So not going to dwell on it, but it is something that everyone's talking about. Rossini was basically on with, DraftKings Network? Wow. Talking about how she and her cohort are coming to the great state of Minnesota this week, joint practices with the Patriots, and she's worried that Vikings fans are going to be at the airport ready to throw eggs at her. First of all, we got bigger fish to fry. You know what I mean? We have better things to do than just hang out at MSP, because some of us actually work for a living. Plus, we're not going to waste eggs on a writer for The Athletic, right? Now, if it was Sports Illustrated back in the day, who do you think you are, Gay Talese? Huh? Is this another inspiring sports biography? No. Get out of here. Is that Dick Shapp? It's not even Jeremy Shapp. Nah, get out of here, man. So, also, eggs, I mean, the price of eggs come down, but an egg is an egg. It's still expensive. Superfood, by the way. Anyways, but just the outline of revisionist history and gaslighting, it's insane. So, pretty much ignoring it. And again, the whole saga this offseason. Oh, the Vikings aren't sold on JJ. Oh, he didn't look very good. I'm hearing this. Or are you just hearing things that back up your initial perceptions of the situation because you were fed bad information by Rodgers' agent, clearly trying to gin up a market. Rodgers to the Vikings, Rodgers to the Vikings, Rodgers to the Vikings, Rodgers to the Steelers, Rodgers to the Giants. Three-way bidding war when really only one team was ever interested in Aaron Rodgers, right? But us fanboys have to come to grips that Rodgers is going to be the quarterback here. Whatever. And again, we always say this. How come Rodgers, Vikings was only from one outlet, one media outlet? If it was such well-known information and it was a true story, where was ESPN? Where was NFL Network? Where was CBS? Where was Fox Sports? Where was Bleacher Report? Where was Barstool? Where was any other sports outlet that legitimately had that same reporting? Oh, but The Athletic is Woodward and Bernstein. Or did you know The Athletic has ads again, by the way? I thought we paid to not have ads. But isn't it weird how just The Athletic just completely ran with that? Like, that was the entire offseason narrative. Rodgers, Vikings, Rodgers, Vikings, Rodgers, Vikings. No one else had that, including Tom Pelissero, NFL Network head honcho, local media guy inside the market. He was always like, no. Or Adam Schefter, no. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe I'm not over it. But I don't care. Like, I have no malice, but I just find that it's really interesting that when you clearly were duped, instead of getting mad by the people who duped you, you just double down against the people who you lied to blatantly. Right? Coward, I understand, but yeah. Anyways, joint practices with the Patriots this week. Pictured here, the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT. And then the minority owner of the Raiders. Or pictured here, soon to be a guy who wins at least 7 Super Bowls with a guy who lost his wife to a jiu-jitsu instructor. I don't know, man. But old friends on the pit. Well, yeah, Kevin Conn drafted in the 3rd round, 2008, out of San Diego State, quarterback, 6'5", 210, could run like a deer, had a good arm. Belichick was like, Kevin Conn. I know we got in trouble for whispering yesterday. We sound like the Yang Yang twins out here, but I feel like the Belichick voice is above board. My girlfriend was born in 2004, or whatever. Anyways, old friends on the Patriots. Going to be seeing a couple of these dudes at practice. We talk about practice, right? Josh Dobbs, Patriot. Awesome, man. If you wanted to stay here, that's okay. Yeah. Stephon Diggs, he can stay in Boston or Foxborough. Yeah. Garrett Bradbury also can stay there. But tell me a song, Vidarian Lowe. Vidarian Lowe, a member of the vaunted 2022 Vikings draft class. Kyrus Tonga. I mean, Kyrus Tonga just never got a shot, man. I always believed in him. I wanted the pride of BYU to get some things done. Jaquelin Roy, LSU, just never really came together. Yeah. The marvelous Marcus Epps. So Epps was a 6th round pick by the Vikings back in the day. That whisper works too. Out of Wyoming, I believe. And then he didn't make it through his first year because he was either practice squad, picked up by the Eagles, had a good run with the Eagles, went to the Raiders, and sort of bounced around. I mean, Epps is solid, man. I like Marcus Epps. Plus, John Parker Romo, of course, we know him from last season. Kicking ain't easy. Former teammate of Christian Darrisaw of Virginia Tech. Enter Sandman. But Parker Romo, hey, if, oh my God. Nickerson just won $78 at bingo. I want my cut. But Parker Romo, he, if Will the Thrill struggles in joint practice, I mean, maybe Parker Romo just stays. I mean, because they drafted a kicker in the second round out of Miami, Boragas. So that's just you being the you. So Parker Romo, I mean, you probably got a condo around here. Let's stay, man. Stay. There you go. Also, story training camp is Max Brosmer, University of Minnesota Golden Gopher, Pride of Maine. Wait, no, New Hampshire. Xavier Scott went to Maine. There's a very funny skit on SNL called Maine Justice. Look it up. One has Jamie Foxx, one has Justin Timberlake. It's good. Anyways, but Brosmer has been sorry at camp. Right, just processing, doing things well, working against the Flores defense every single day. Had a solid showing in the preseason game, and we think that, okay, maybe we got something there. Even though, yes, I am the patron saint of Vikings quarterback 3s and 4s, but whatever. But something, maybe raise an eyebrow. Al Lewis, the Athletic, put out his 53-man rooster projection yesterday, and in J.J. McCarthy, Slinging Sam Howell, a.k.a. half a Korea's quarterback, quarter Korea, and Max Brosmer making the 53. Out, Brett ripping ass. All right. Was McCarthy, blah, 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 blah. So why Howell and Brosmer? There are two changes from our last rooster projection. Howell played confidently against the Houston Texans. His arm talent is undeniable. More reps in O'Connell's system should only help. Plus, not having to go against Flores' defense every single day probably helps a quarterback look better too. Right. Meanwhile, Brosmer going undrafted is head scratching, to put it nicely. By comparison, the Texans' Graham Mertz, stupid Badger, then Florida Gator, who threw 3 interceptions Saturday, was selected in the 6th round. Brosmer sees the field, processing the defensive picture in a way you cannot teach. Coaches have raved about his smarts behind the scenes too. If the Vikings don't add him to the 53-man, they're risking losing a reliable player at the game's most crucial position. He's Brock Purdy. He's Brock Purdy with a slightly better arm. So hang on to him. Hold on loosely and don't let go. No, don't do it, man. Speaking of McCarthy, it's going to be good to see him. All right, because obviously going against the Flores defense, I mean, probably the best defense in the league. Let's be honest here. It's good practice. It certainly is. But also, we know that his preseason game was sort of you saw what you wanted to see. Right, he drove down the Vikings from the 12 to go get points. Made some nice throws to Addison. Wanted that Lucky Jackson throwback. Charlie skedaddle for a first down as well. Operated the offense well. Saw things progress well. It's good. But since he's probably not going to play in preseason the rest of the way, up against this Patriots defense, I mean, they're pretty solid. So they were decent last year. Also, you got Vrabel coming in, defensive guy. Got Terrell Williams, really solid as a D-line coach as well. And you got Milton Williams all up in there. Spillane, I always respected from the Raiders. He's a stud. Carlton Davis, getting some, coming off his broken jaw. Jabril Peppers, Gonzo's all up in there. The marvelous Marcus Jones. I mean, this is a good defense. This is good defense, man. So it'll be good getting reps best on best. And I actually kind of like that the joint practices are with a team that has a rock solid defense versus just a bunch of slappies out there. So we actually get to see what McCarthy is going to do out here. So hopefully next 2 days, a lot of good work, stacking good days, all that stuff. Right. Also, something I hope shows out and is going to play the next 2 preseason games. Will Raggett, Sports Illustrated. I'm very in on Vikings rookie defensive lineman Elijah Williams, 99. He balled out on Saturday. A former HBCU FCS star at Morgan State, signed after attending rookie minicamp as a trial player. Kevin Collins says he sits in the front row at every meeting. And got 99 problems. Elijah Williams certainly is not one. Had 4 pressures. Also had 2 tackles for loss in the run game. And it's something that we need, right? So we can talk about edge rushers all day. Just we need someone lined up here as a 3 tech, sitting in the B gap, and just blow up a gap and just go get it. Also, Baldy's breakdowns, which is great. Vikings rookie UDFA defense tackle Elijah Williams for Morgan State. Very active, good movement with interior pass rush ability. Stick around, pay attention. So overall, again, never bet against UDFA tryouts who make the 90-man because they're already gone through one level of filtration. They're already impressed coaches, already impressed Kwesi because UDFA tryouts through the years. John Randall, Adam Thielen, Marcus Sherrills, CJ Ham, Elijah Williams. So I think minimum practice squad, and maybe if he blows up these next 2 preseason games, it'll have to be a 53, but we'll see. It's a good problem to have. Lastly, wrapping up with some quarterback health. So I actually don't think Stafford's going to play. I actually might think that Stafford's done because it's sort of a story that's been on the back burner. Like Stafford didn't take a single rep during this offseason, back injury, getting epidural and stuff. It's like he's 37. So Schefter, he's 37 years old. It's a back injury, back's linger. I think it's problematic. You never met someone who used to have a bad back. He's out here like the Airstream Immortal, getting some procedures and stuff. I think they may have to roll Stetson Bennett or Jimmy G. It's over. Also, the excuses have already begun. Schefter, Packers quarterback Jordan Love, who's undergoing a procedure on a ligament issue with his left thumb, suffered the injury in Green Bay's preseason opener. The team is hoping Love can return to practice next week, and the Packers expect him to be ready for the regular season opener. Play Malik Willis because he is your best quarterback. What you talk about, Willis? All right, but Love, I feel like this happened with Roethlisberger all the time. Just a report of an injury, still going to play. If he plays bad, it's because of the injury. But if he plays good, what a warrior. Amazing. And is Jordan Love actually kind of injury prone? Just all these, because he had the MCL last year down in Brazil. And then he's got this finger now. I know, it's always something. It's okay. He's Jay Cutler. He's Jay Cutler without a good arm and also without the funny memes. Don't care. That's all. Anyways, join practice today. It's going to be a fantastic time. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.